Hey guys, it's Allison with FlabsToFitness. Super excited to have you here today. So I wanted to discuss the vitamin cocktails that I was making when I was on my road trip with my boyfriend, and the two of us ended up getting sick during the Rona breakout, and I realize it's still happening. The Rona did not go away, and I'm also calling it that because I get censored less if I call it that, so we're just gonna call it that. You know what I'm talking about, the thing that shut the world down for the past 9 months. Anyway, we went on a road trip a couple weeks ago, and to be fair, I'm speaking like this because I want to just preemptively say we left Austin when it was in the 80s and it was warm and we were used to that. And then we road tripped through Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Oregon, back down Idaho, Utah, Arizona, and then home through New Mexico and then to Texas. So we did a big old loop, right? And the weather went anything from where we started in Austin in the 80s to 30s and snowy in Utah to teens and snowy in Oregon to 5 degrees when we were back in Utah, all the way back to Phoenix weather, which was in the 80s. And then we came home and it was in like the 70s, right? So we went 10,000 feet up and down, and then we went 100 degrees up and down when it comes to weather. So I say all of that because I was definitely concerned that I had something worse than allergies, and I think it developed into something worse than allergies, but it wasn't like it definitely wasn't the Rona. It could have been flu or something like that. We had all of the flu symptoms. He had all of the flu symptoms. I just mostly was sinusy, and I was getting some throat stuff just because if your nose is stuffy and you sleep, it hurts your throat. But all of that being said, when we got our tests done before the end of the trip, we did get Rona tests done, and we came back negative, but both of us were running fevers. So the fever is the thing that makes me be like, okay, it developed into something else. Anyway, that was a long ass intro. I created some supplement blends that basically made it so that we just felt like we had allergies and we were stuffy from that, and that was basically it. We would kind of get, like I said, I would get some throat stuff in the morning from sleeping all night. My boyfriend did get some body aches and stuff like that, but overall, all we were really feeling was that we needed to blow our nose, and that was kind of it. Like it was really not much. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what we had, but I wanted to share this stack because I invented it based on some research that's coming out on the Rona specifically about how certain nutrients inhibit that virus. And so I started making this stack for us when we started feeling a little stuffy, just in case we had been exposed, to help support our bodies in case that's what it was, because we weren't able to get a test until we got to Arizona. So that being said, let's talk about some of the nutrients that are being studied for the Rona and how I came up with the serving sizes and the drinks. First up, the one we hear about the most is vitamin C. So I got this vitamin C. My light hates it when I hold shit up to it. This is vitamin C from Whole Foods. It's the 365 brand. It was literally like $14 for this, which sounds like a lot of money, but a quarter teaspoon is a serving, and that is 1.25 grams of vitamin C. To put that into perspective, the recommended daily amount is 75 milligrams. So this is 1,250 milligrams in a quarter teaspoon. So some of the studies that my friend Kevin from Feta Brain was telling me about are talking about how people are orally supplementing vitamin C, which is what this is, powder, you drink it. Powdered vitamin C up to 20 grams per day when they're sick, and they can handle it without getting any diarrhea. And that is a sign of how much your body needs it. So basically, vitamin C is extremely difficult to overdose on. Like, it's virtually impossible because I mentioned diarrhea. Basically, if you have too much vitamin C and your body doesn't have anything to do with it, you just poop it out. And it's not the most pleasant pooping experience, but you just poop it out, and that's kind of it. You don't overdose, it's fine. But when you have an active infection, your body can handle a lot more of it. So another way that I know that we had some sort of active infection is because I was taking 3 teaspoons of this per day, which adds up to 15 grams of this per day. And I was taking 1 in the morning, 1 with lunch, and 1 before bed, and I was not getting diarrhea, which means my body was using all of it when I was taking it. Last week, when I was no longer sick, I did 1 teaspoon in the morning, and a few hours later, there's the diarrhea, which shows me that I didn't need that much anymore because I was no longer infected, right? So all 3 of my drinks throughout the day, 1 teaspoon of high potency vitamin C. Most supplements, I'll link to one that's on Amazon below. It's super cheap. That one is 4 grams per teaspoon. So you would be having 12 grams per day instead of 15. Close enough, right? If you really feel the need to add extra, you can. But I have this in all 3 of my little elixirs, morning, midday, and at night. Now, the next thing that I made sure to do in the morning was take the D. I took the D, if you know what I mean. I took the D. This is literally a supplement from MSW Nutrition called the D. It's 5,000 IUs of vitamin D. And vitamin D is also very proven to be an immune booster in general, and it's also extremely difficult to overdose on. You need to be taking like 10 times this to overdose on it, okay? So just don't be an idiot when you supplement. But I took 2 of these per day. So I just took them both in the morning, 10,000 IU. The nice thing about vitamin D is it's actually a hormone. So vitamin D, when you take it, you're not necessarily using the vitamin D that you take that day to work in your body that day. You might be storing it in your fat for later use on a day that you don't supplement it or you don't eat enough or get in the sun enough to supply whatever, right? So high doses of vitamin D have been shown on a number of things, but including COVID, you know, even mainstream media is saying get out in the sun more, it's good for you, right? So morning, 10,000 IU of vitamin D. Back to the drinks. So I mentioned I had a drink with the vitamin C 3 times a day. In the morning, I would mix in Neuromag by MSW Nutrition. This is a magnesium supplement. Magnesium is a salt that's crucial for life. It's involved in almost every single cellular process in our bodies. And it basically just affects cellular signaling. I mostly included this for the taste, not gonna lie, because vitamin C by itself just tastes like literal acid, because that's what it is. So this is still sour, but it made it taste a little better. But we also just need magnesium. So for me, this was the flavoring on there. And then the last thing, so we have these 2 in the morning, this at lunch and dinner. I would actually do these 3 in the morning. So the last one that we included was glutamine. And this is the one I'm most excited to learn about because this is also an MSW Nutrition product. Glutamine is an amino acid that everyone has kind of known for a long time that it's very good for muscle building. It's a great muscle builder amino acid. Lately, it's called gut because MSW Nutrition has been studying a lot of research showing that it's actually very good at helping to heal the gut lining. So if you have leaky gut, this is great. And the optimal serving for that is 4 grams. So 1 scoop of the MSW one is 4 grams, right? That's 4,000 milligrams. And most recently, there have been studies coming out on the Rona. People who are high dosing glutamine while in the hospital are cutting their stay in half, like consistently. And even if they're not in the hospital, they are cutting the length of the virus being active in their bodies by 30 to 50%. So I was like, I'm gonna include some of that. So I was doing 8 grams per day. That's 2 scoops. So morning and evening, I would have this in my drink. All 3 drinks had vitamin C. Morning had the magnesium, the gut, and the C. And then I was taking 2 vitamin D capsules. So that was my little regimen. On top of that, I also had some zinc lozenges. So I will link to this blog below, but basically zinc is crucial to helping cells protect themselves against viruses. It basically activates the things that tell cells that there is an infected cell nearby so that the other cells can protect themselves and not let the virus in. We need zinc. And when you have a zinc lozenge, you're sucking on it, it's slow dripping that zinc down the throat. So it's super soothing if you're having nasal drip like I was. That was my game plan. I got through this whole ass road trip going up and down and in temperature and in elevation. And we were great. We never got COVID. We were, maybe we were exposed, maybe we weren't, but whatever the virus was that we had, it helped a ton. And again, my decisions in these things were rooted in the fact that they're being studied on COVID. These three, right? The magnesium was just because we need it and for the flavor. And as far as flavor goes for the other two drinks for lunch and dinner, I would just add some of my favorite electrolytes or put it in a sparkling water that I liked and just stir carefully so it doesn't explode. But that's basically what I was doing. And I'm gonna link to the blog post for this video below so you can get more of the written information and like the actual written out schedule that I followed. But again, high doses of vitamin C, up to 20 grams orally, high doses of glutamine. I think those numbers were like 15 grams. I was taking 8, like I said, but those two have studies backing them up specifically against the Rona. So if you know you have it, go ahead and supplement with those things. Like I said, I will put links to all of these various ones that I trust in the comments below. You can also just ignore my links and go find your own, but doesn't matter. All the resources are in the comment below, and this helped me a ton on my road trip. My boyfriend agrees. It was a game changer for us. We were able to still just see all of the pretty things that we wanted to see, and it was a very good time. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Please let me know if you have questions. I know this is a super hot button topic, and I'm not trying to like ruffle any feathers. By all means, if you're sick, get the medicine, do that stuff. But these are ways to strengthen the body and help it do its job when you're sick as well. So even if you're on other medication, these are nutrients. You can handle it, and they might just speed up the process of healing faster. So let me know if you need anything. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again soon.